And good afternoon. This is Coach Big Pete of deepdishfootball.com. How you doing? This is a conclusion of week one and what happened week one for IHSA football. Not that many surprises. It was in the southern central Illinois area. I mean, the one surprise that I can point to is Fairfield uh, beating Johnston City pretty fashionably. Springfield High School did a great job of basically proving the doubters wrong in the first game. We'll see what happens the next 8 games. And that's a reminder to people we have 8 games left. There's 8 games. Don't go too far. Don't think that your team's going to be bad or good or whatever. 8 games left. This was the first week. Um, Naperville North proved something unbelievably proved something against a very young Edwardsville team. And I've said about Edwardsville team is next year is going to be their year. Um, so could this year be too. But Naperville North did a hell of a job. Drake Davis, Kel Cogno had a hell of a game. But like I said, Naperville North, 42-point deficit in the second quarter. They overcame it, and that's a major accomplishment for that Naperville North team and a huge morale booster. Another one too was Maine South. A lot of people were doubting Maine South, and I don't understand it. I don't understand how people do not understand the fact of an offensive line coach and what an offensive line coach does. And the offensive line coach for Maine South um, does a hell of a job. I saw him with those offensive linemen at the Warrenville Southing, and I was completely impressed with those offensive linemen. And after that, around August, when people started doing the previews, a lot of people were downplaying Maine South. I wouldn't downplay Maine South because of what their offensive line has and their ability to make holes for Fotis. Fotis is a hell of a running back too, and they have a hell of a quarterback too. That is just a scary team, Maine South. I still don't know why some people were downplaying Maine South, and this also goes to nothing. A lot of people that watch high school football or fans and some parents, they don't understand what a good offensive line crew can do for a team. They still don't understand it. It still escapes their mind, and they don't understand. Well, it's it's because of my son's ability that they're winning the game. No, your offensive line is making holes for him to go through. It, I still don't understand. It's just one of those things. And this is the first week conclusion. Hopefully, I don't get any more emails like the stuff about their kid and that sending me huddles and that, and I show and I have to go on huddle and circle and say these are the holes that your offensive line created. It's a little bit sick. It's a little bit sickening because you got 5 big guys that are busting their ass to make the plays, and they don't get enough gratitude. But I'll give them gratitude right now. Those offensive lines, you guys did a hell of a job this Friday night and Saturday. Good job for you guys, especially Maine South. Great job. Glenbard West lost to Maine South in a fashionable thing, and everybody's saying now, well, Glenbard West isn't that good. That's complete BS. You got a disciplined team with Hetlet who had a mistake of a game in the first game, and I guarantee you, and I said this before, Maine South does not want to play Glenbard South again. Glenbard West again. Maine South does not want to play Glenbard West again. That's just it. IC had a slow first half against Bishop Mack, and people were saying, "Well, IC is not that good." IC is still good. Sorry about that. IC is still good. People were saying Palatine's not that good because he lost to Stevenson. That's completely untrue. It's the first week of the season. I saw the game Palatine versus Stevenson. Stevenson was a good team, which everyone was downplaying, which I have no idea because there's teams that have cultures of creating players and a scheme that with a scheme for an offense where it doesn't develop around, where it's not around 1 or 2 players, you can win games. And they still don't understand it. Just like Rochester football. And people don't understand Rochester football still. They do not understand Rochester football. And they don't understand Phillips football. Phillips football had a great not upset, but they beat Loyola, last second goal line stand, and they're saying, well, Phillips football, all that talent, they should have won. They should have won by more, and um, yeah, blah 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 blah. That's great. You can have all the talent in the world. If you take a look at Simeon versus OPRF, OPRF beats Simeon. Simeon has all the talent in the world, some of the best talent in the state. You know why they lost? No chemistry, no discipline. You got to understand that, and that's what a lot of people don't understand. So Stevenson wins the game, and everyone's shocked. Come on. And Palatine, they lose, and everyone's like, "Oh, well, they're not. No, they're good." In fact, I'd rather be 0-1 than 1-0 if I had a team that was told that they were going to be good. If they believe their own hype, I'd rather have an 0-1 team than a 1-0 team for the first week, because it's a teaching moment for those kids. Simple as that. But besides that, Peoria lost the big game. Basically, just no defense to Normal West. Normal West Genesis Forest is deep dish football player of the state, player of the game for the state of Illinois. Um, two coaches tied for coach of the night for the Pumpkin Spice Donut Award. I know it's stupid, but it came up with it last year. People liked it. Horf from Stevenson, Chris Roll from Lake Park for an upset win over Wabanzi Valley. Good game. Now, and I say this, and I've said this before. I've said this a bunch of times. Saturday after breakfast with Coach Big Pete, nominate your game with the hashtag Deep Dish Football. Come see our game. Nominate it on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Put the game to it. That's all you have to do. Just nominate it. And I put the vote last night, and people were complaining. Well, how come not this game? All you had to do was nominate the game. Just nominate the game. That's all you gotta do. I count out all the nominations as votes too. So have your friends that nominate the game. Hashtag Deep Dish Football. Come see our game. That's all you have to do. Or I think it's Deep Dish Football. Come see us play. Whatever. I'll get the correct one. But just please understand it. And the vote starts on Saturday night. This week 2 is about to votes about to end at 8 p.m. and that'll be the second week Deep Dish Football game of the week. Week 3, I'm thinking about doing a small school week Deep Dish Football game of the week, going to 3, 2, or 1A. Depends on the vote. So we'll see. Again, first week is over. There's no need to panic. Things are going to be worked on, and week 2 is going to be a great week to look at. Week 2, you're going to see a pretty much a very surge in the college coaches coming to games. And another thing too, and I've said this too, and please listen. Kids have been asking me, well, that's not true about character. The kid's character doesn't matter. Look at what happened to blah blah blah. Look at this university. Look at that university. Yeah, that's great, but here's the thing: coaches are looking more into character issues. A kid is seen as basically they see him basically as what $100,000 deficit, and that player working towards that goal of $100,000 deficit when he plays those games for those 3 or 4 said seasons. Now, legal fees and everything else. If that kid does something stupid or anything illegal, that's another deficit. If you look at some of these cases and how much it costs the school to defend that school per se, a lawsuit or a settlement or any of that other stuff, the school will fire that coach. That's the reason why the coach is worried about character right now. And you guys are saying, well, what about this guy? What about this guy? If you look at some of those guys, and you look at their criminal records, they have nothing on their criminal record. 20 years ago, that would not have been the case. You would have had guys with 3 or 4 arrests. There was a guy, a legendary guy that went to University of Miami, Willie Wilson, and he was a complete non-character. He did everything wrong. But again, please understand that character does matter. Please do understand it. I keep telling you guys that. You guys keep laughing. And I told one kid, you got to watch your character. You got to do that. You got to do that. That's not true. That's not true. That's not true. I'm sorry, this was last year. And I asked him where he was playing. He's like, well, I'm playing at COD. Well, I told you, character does matter. It does matter. Simple as that. But Genesis Forest, player of the night, Friday night, Normal West, Horf Roll, tied for coach of the night, Deep Dish Football Coach of the Night, Pumpkin Spice Donut Award. Please vote for week 2. That's going to end at 8 p.m. this Sunday. It should be a fun weekend in week 2. I know there's going to be a lot more people talking about football and all the other stuff and all the great analysts that there is in Illinois high school football. Some are good and some are bad, and some are just absolute garbage. They don't know what they're talking about. That's what happens when you have a radio guy that calls himself a football expert. Doesn't work. And I've never ever called myself an expert too, and I never will ever call myself an expert. So just think about that for a second. Also, visit deepdishfootball.com. Follow Coach Big Pete and Deep Dish Football on Twitter and Facebook. Also, follow me on Instagram, Coach Big Pete. Go to YouTube. Look at some of the YouTube videos too. Look at the character video. What I said, how to get recruited videos, all that other stuff, because that will help you mostly get recruited. Honest to God. And a lot of people have said, well, why do you go against the recruiting services? They do a good job. Oh, yeah, they did a good job. And I asked them, well, what school are you going to? Oh, oh, I'm not going to school. Yeah, I told you. Every Just please search Brett Bielema and Coach Franklin of Penn State and Creighton of Eastern Michigan and see what they said on YouTube about recruiting services, pay for recruiting services. They are a scam. Simple as that. Simple as that. But it should be an interesting week, second week. Looking forward to it. Please vote. And this was Coach Big Pete's conclusion on Sunday. Thank you so much. Let's get on to week 2.